Joining us now, former Israeli peace negotiator and the president of the U.S. Middle East Project, Daniel Levy. Daniel, it has been hard to see those images. It gets harder every single day when you just look at the sheer magnitude of the destruction and all of the suffering in Gaza. The weather is now a problem. I understand the need to root out Hamas, fully understand that. I think most people do. I think it's getting harder to understand what comes along with it, the images we're seeing out of Gaza. And the president of the United States is saying much of the same, telling donors that it's indiscriminate bombing. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was basically ignoring that. What does Israel do to maintain international support here?
First of all, Katie, you're right. It is so difficult to see these images. It's more than 7,500 children killed by the Israeli strikes in Gaza.
Daniel, hold on. Can I ask you a question? This has been bothering me. I know the Israelis say that they are trying to, I'm sorry to interrupt you, they're trying to get all of, they're telling people to leave, to go to safe places. I can't imagine if that message actually gets there, that people would stay and suffer the loss of their loved ones and put their families in danger. So there's got to be a disconnect between the message that Israel says it's sending out and what Palestinians are hearing or where they're striking.
Well, and I think you've just hit it right there, Katie. First of all, the level of destruction, the kind of munitions Israel has been using. And there's been a lot of coverage of this. This is unprecedented since the Second World War. Munitions that America was sparing in using, even in Mosul and Raqqa, in Afghanistan and elsewhere. Munitions that cause this kind of civilian destruction, also in areas that they have told people would be safe areas. I think the Palestinians in Gaza feel there's almost nowhere safe. They also face now going to places terribly overcrowded, appalling sanitary conditions. There is basically nowhere safe. That's how you get these kinds of numbers. And so when President Biden looks at this and he says Israel is losing the support of the world, I think many normal humans would scratch their head and say, wait a minute, that loss of world support has happened.
Yeah.
You reminded us, Katie, of the vote at the United Nations yesterday. 10 nations voted in opposition to a ceasefire. 153 voted in favor. But here's the crucial thing. One of those 10 was President Biden. I think America demeaned itself at the United Nations in front of the entire world by casting that vote. America, the Biden administration, is not calling for a ceasefire. And in that respect, all this talk of you're losing support, I think in the Israeli capital, back home, the Israeli government are feeling quite secure in their position because America is continuing to vote with them, is vetoing at the Security Council, and most importantly, is continuing to provide not only the political cover, but also the weapons for Israel to engage in this destruction. So when President Biden talks about the morning after, and there are disagreements with the Israelis on the morning after, but he refuses to call for a ceasefire, I think he's still in the Netanyahu comfort zone, unfortunately.